Hello and welcome to this week's mini session, which is about the three entities of relationships. The three entities being two me's and a we. This is such a helpful lesson, such a helpful and a critical thing for you to be aware of if you ever intend to be in a committed relationship. If you have been or intend to be, if you're in one or you intend to be in one in the future, or if you have been, listen up. This is so helpful. Because what we often are blind to in relationships is that there are two individual beings with really unique histories, family of origin, culture and values, curses and blessings, social challenges, and a whole spectrum of traumas that happen throughout the course of that person's life so far. And how all of those events and experiences of that person, of each person's life, shapes their beliefs, their sensitivities / insecurities, their temperament and their traits and their tendencies, their reactive habits, how they live their life, how they relate to being in a relationship. And what I think is important for me to say is that before people come into a session with someone like myself, there's a mostly unconscious relating experience going on. So all of those things that have happened, and each person in the two me's, when they come together in the way that they're unconscious of how their tendencies and traits that have developed from their backstory influence and infect the relationship where the two individuals meet and communicate and connect. And the reactivity comes from lack of self-awareness. The benefit of developing self-awareness is that you can develop a deeper relationship with yourself in respect to everything that I mentioned before. And be able to know how, be aware of your sensitivities, and to know how to navigate yourself, your way through a turbulent communication experience or conflict. And when conflict goes well, that you know how to support yourself through that. And when you know how to do that for yourself, you have more capacity to understand the other person in the same way and develop more tolerance for their sensitivities, more compassion for their sensitivities. This is conscious relating. This is two people choosing to be in a relationship and keeping each other up to date and informed, and almost providing a bit of a guidebook, an operating manual, if you like, about each other as you get to know each other. This is what you're doing. This is how compatibility is created. Sure, when you meet, you might have things in common, but compatibility and the ability to talk about difficult things comes from working together. So I guess the most important takeaway from this mini session is, how aware are you of all of those factors that I mentioned before? Family of origin, curses and blessings, culture and values, social challenges along the way, small t, big T traumas. What are the things that you prioritize in relationship? Do you mainly prioritize autonomy? Do you mainly prioritize togetherness? How do you get the balance right? Do you communicate to your person about you? Do you know yourself well enough to be able to do that? And are you able to, inquire and access their inner world to learn about them? And when you are able to both do that well, you will have a mostly satisfying and mostly secure experience of being in a relationship with each other. So I encourage you to practice this level of awareness, and happy to respond to any questions you might have about this. And if you'd like to deepen your self-awareness, please do look at my 28-day Mindbody Retreat. It is purely to develop self-awareness and habituate self-care, psychological, emotional and physical self-care. See you next time.